All right, welcome. It's Friday, June 17th, 18th, somewhere around there. It's 117 degrees here in Phoenix. And yes, we made it to the table for another round of In Question. I'm Jerry Frawley, and today we have our big man and one of my personal favorites here, Cameron Lowe. Cameron, good to have you on the show again.
Always good to be here with you, Jer.
I know, but what we were talking about a little backstage, if you will, is the simple fact that it's so hot that people don't want to leave. We were going to bring everybody in via like Skype or whatever, but there's power outages here now. Did you read about that?
Well, I saw the guy when I was pulling into the driveway. He was cooking bacon and eggs on right next to your car.
right on the street.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely hot here.
Yeah.
People who don't realize it, but it is a dry heat. You're really comfortable in the shade.
Yeah, it's not too bad when you get in the shade. It's just when you get in the
sun is on direct.
And it's hard to get out of the sun sometimes. The trees aren't exactly real bushy here.
No, they're very
cactus shade is tough.
Yeah, can't hide behind that little prick.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of the topics that we've decided to talk about today were obviously we always like the COVID kind of scenario. We have the space launch, which we're going to get into. I think we should just go into the SpaceX program. Elon Musk doing a great job.
Yeah.
I love how those it breaks apart. They give you the play-by-play, but then the thing lands right on the boat perfectly.
It's ridiculous.
The guy's a genius.
He is a genius. I mean, clearly, he's doing things that are advancing humankind, and sometimes he just does it out of the goodness of his heart.
I think that's why a lot of people like him.
Guy,
because he does do that good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that he is helping. He's raising money, and he's doing a lot of foundations. I'm hoping to get him to kind of come in for an interview. I mean, Rogan got him. I think I should be able to get him. But
oh yeah, definitely.
But some interesting stuff about our network is that we can open a SpaceX kind of channel.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that don't really know what's going on, we're launching a platform, a television platform. Now it's kind of like a competitor to all the other cable operators, but we're offering it for about $32. That's about 200 channels for $32. And just this week, we were making
that's
a deal
highway robbery. People will be highway robbing you. Those kind of.
Actually,
that's
we're offsetting it with advertising. There's a lot of advertisers out there that actually made a lot of money during COVID.
I'm just saying it's a great deal.
Thank you. It is a good deal, but we're offsetting it. But it's your chance to get your content on the air. And if you have a podcast and you keep getting Facebook jailed, we're adding the podcast, your own podcast with a series. To our lineup, which is great. And then one thing that I could also outline is we were just talking with Byron Allen and his medical team and the medical channel, which you're going to see. These are doctors from all over who are going to tell the truth. They're going to come on and tell it. And Cam, actually, you come on as an anchor here and there for the medical stuff because he does work with Halo Health, one of our premier facilities here in the Scottsdale area. So if you're out here, come and check it out. But SpaceX, anything else you want to add on that?
Man, I don't know. I just always curious to see what he's going to roll out next. How is he going to make it better? He's got the Starlink and Skylink, Starlink. What is it? Starlink, Skylink. I don't know. All those satellites. All those. Yeah. The guy is just incredibly fun to follow, and he's got a good sense of humor too.
He does.
But yeah, it's always fun watching him.
It's fun to watch him, but it's fun to see what he creates.
Yeah.
Now, I love the fact that he bought the ion or battery.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? The lithium.
Uh-huh.
The mining. He bought the mining to lower his car price $50,000.
Oh wow!
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, that's where he came out with the Bat X or Batwing, which was I think the X series, and then. What I loved is that everybody said it's kind of uncomfortable. The seats were uncomfortable because they put the what do you call it? The seatbelt cover kind of in on both butt cheeks.
Uh-huh.
So people were complaining, and he said,
on it.
"Well, I love it." He goes, "I actually read the comments, so I created the Y, and I made them a little bigger."
Yeah, I think that's one of the really cool things about him that people dig is he's so engaged. with his fan base or with his clientele base. He's always engaged on Twitter and Instagram, and it seems like he really enjoys public speaking. And he did great on Saturday Night Live. And
I didn't see that episode. Was it good? Because I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in a long time.
Yeah, I'm not big on Saturday Night Live anymore, but I did watch that one.
So what's interesting? I started working with some of the writers from the original SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys that wrote the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah, they probably worked on Taxi as well.
I don't know. He's got a long list of, they all do.
Like we're talking about Danny DeVito days, or...
I said SNL. Taxi.
Yeah.
You're thinking Taxi. SNL, Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
The Saturday Night Live writers with Cheeseburger.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't...
I don't know. He might have worked on Taxi.
I thought he was on SNL a little bit.
Who?
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito was on Taxi. I don't know. Maybe as a special guest.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm talking like when Eddie Murphy was there, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, the really good writers, or at least what I think is good, because I laughed. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in years.
Honestly, I haven't laughed much since Jimmy Fallon left. He did a lot of the writing. He wrote a lot of those skits. Yeah, it was funny because he was the guy that was always laughing in the skit. I hated that about him. He couldn't hold it together. He was always laughing within the skit and leaving character. While Will Ferrell, never left character.
No,
that kind of annoyed me but I learned that he actually wrote a lot of that. So he was laughing at other people telling the jokes that he wrote, and he was getting such a kick out of it. So then I liked it better after that.
Well, I think he's just happy that somebody found it funny.
Yeah.
And that's quite amazing. You really need good writers. It's hard to find good writers.
Yeah.
It is very hard. So if you're a writer out there, give us a call.
Well, now it's even harder because people are so scared to offend anyone, and they got so much cancel culture going on that, a lot of comedians are talking about this, that you can't. Kevin Hart just said something about it. A number of different people have come out and said it's just almost impossible to write jokes right now, and comedians are having to apologize for their jokes that they told, a decade and a half ago. And
it's almost like you can only make fun of yourself now.
Yeah.
Because I grew up with Sebastian Maniscalco, who's a pretty good comic
love him.
right
He's
now.
Hilarious, man.
He's kind of telling. He really is. A lot of his story is about him and his wife. Mm-hmm. How she's Jewish, he's Italian.
Yeah.
He went over there to Passover.
And then his dad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got to add his dad.
Yeah.
Because that little neighborhood that we grew up in was very heavy Italian dads, and there is such a difference when you grow up with a lot of Italian dads. I can say it. So I'll give you a great story. I walked down. I got a good friend of mine, and I was constantly at his house. And Italians, they have the kitchen in the middle floor, and they always have one in the basement for summer. Did you know that?
No.
Oh yeah, they have two.
Okay.
So you go down there, and I walk up, and I'm like, Mr. Rego. I goes, what are you making? He's like off the boat Italian, right? Mm-hmm. So he says, it's a butterfish. I'm thinking, butterfish, blowfish, no. Tuna, no. This, no. And I'm going through like every fish that I could think of. And I said, what the hell is butterfish? He says, Daddy, you got it a butter. You got it a fish. You got a butterfish.
Makes sense now.
But that's something I'll never forget. It was just so funny to me. And he's looking, like, why is that funny? He's like arguing with me, like, why is that funny? Yeah. I'm rolling, right? I think it's the funniest thing ever. I can't wait to ask him another question.
Yeah.
So, did you ever grow up in an Italian village, or you grew up in like kind of the outside LA area?
Yeah, I grew up in nothing happens in suburbia area.
Oh, really? So you're safe. It's just earthquakes.
Yeah, it was the tough streets of Northridge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those skateboarders.
Oh, man. Yeah. How do you think I got this scar?
Yeah.
No, I was actually mountain biking.
Yeah. Is that why you covered it up?
Yeah.
Is it really?
No. Well, this is actually just not last weekend, but the weekend before. Went up to Flagstaff and went on a couple of trails.
A little trail, yeah.
Yeah. Mountain biking, and I happened to hit the biggest rock on the trail.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about that big.
You couldn't see it?
No, I saw it fine.
Were you drinking?
No.
No? Yeah, you can be honest. There's nobody. It's just us.
No, man.
People
it
watching.
Was in the morning. Hadn't started drinking, and going downhill. My brother-in-law, who's very good at mountain biking, he's much, much better than I am. I'm learning that mountain biking is not a big man sport.
Okay.
And
a lot of branches.
A lot of branches, yeah, yeah. One big rock, and I just kind of was coming around a bend, couldn't stop myself. About 260 pounds. That's tough to change directions, and just ran right into the rock.
Just said hello. Here I am.
I landed perfectly on my arm, my hip, and my knee.
Yes. Where everything has no padding.
Yeah.
Not on your ass. No.
But you know what, Jerry?
Yeah.
You get back on your bike and keep pedaling, right?
You know what? That's how we grew up. I love looking at like Facebook posts when people say like they show pictures of like 70s and 80s. The dad is like letting the 6-year-old have a sip of beer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or I love the kind where they show the kids jumping a ramp and there's like 6 bodies. They're like trying to do it, and all the parents are sitting up on the porch going, "I don't think he's gonna make it."
Yeah.
And your kid is number 6.
Yeah. Mom's got the first aid kit going. Yeah. We don't have any more Band-Aids.
Yeah. Those were the days. Like you can imagine, like today's kids, they would never be able to do that.
Yeah. No.
So.
We were better than them.
Well, I think we had a little more freedom.
No,
Today,
we
it's
definitely
just
had more freedom. They have more at their disposal as far as like technology and knowledge and what they're able to do. You can watch YouTube and learn how to do anything.
I know. I wish I had that.
We had to get out and actually try it for ourselves.
Do you still remember the Dewey Decimal System?
No.
That's at the library.
The Dewey. Oh yes, yeah. How you looked up the library books.
Yeah. You had to go to a little card rack.
Yeah. You pull it out.
Now they're just like, Google, tell me, section A, 14, row B. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not amazing.
They're just going to Amazon and renting it.
Can you imagine when we had to do our term papers, going to the library, researching books? They're like Googling stuff, saying, Alexa, find me everything about this topic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is Encyclopedia Britannica even around anymore? Do they even know?
That's a good. If you have that answer,
because that was what you had. You had a book report. You had to do something on volcanoes. Encyclopedia Britannica.
But you had to read it.
Yeah,
you had to read. There was not a lot of pictures because if they only put one, you were forced to look at one.
Right.
And then go. You get your magnifying glass. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a big piece of glass that zooms in. We call them readers now.
Or ant burner.
Oh, ant burner. Very nice. See, that's something I have not done in a long time.
Yeah.
Have you burned an ant?
Not recently.
No?
No.
What's the craziest thing you've done that you did as a kid? Have you ever like ding dong ditched anyone, like any of your neighbors?
Yeah. Did that. I put smoke bombs, and the different colored smoke bombs into mailboxes. That was about as destructive as I got. I thought that was hilarious that somebody was going to get purple mail. Just running around going, ah!
Today it's a felony.
I had this, right? Oh, man, that's a federal crime.
So everybody who got blue mail, it's him.
Yeah. I had a buddy in middle school that he would always look up, oh, gosh. This was back when, the internet was just getting going, right?
Yeah.
And the bad kids would go to these sites where you learn to make bombs and stuff like that. And so he'd come back to class and he's like, I learned how to make something that'll explode and blow something up. And he came with a paint can and a thing of dry ice. And he said you throw the chunk of dry ice into the paint can, slam it shut. Mm-hmm. In about 15 seconds, it will blow up everywhere.
And everybody's a Smurf.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, have you ever used the door knocker with the washers and fishing wire?
No.
One of the best, funnest things you could do where you really can't even get in trouble. You get, fishing wire, right? Comes in like 1,000 feet. Mm-hmm. You tie a loop at the beginning. And then you tie, basically, you kind of measure, all doors are like 20, 25 inches, a center door to the floor. Uh-huh. So you basically put a piece of tape on this, and then you put washers, and you loop it around the washers. Okay? Then you take the string, and you run across the street. So you kind of take it with this knock, knock, knock. So the guy will come out. So we had this guy, Louie, that we kept doing it to. Now, you got a picture. This is one of those crazy Italian guys. He's got the beard. he comes out with that
Crazy Louie.
Yeah, but you know those old like Russian hats with the
ear
earmuffs?
flaps?
Yeah.
All furry?
Yes, the whole furry Cadoo. But he would come out in shorts, galoshes, and a raincoat. Just to see this was truly hysterical. So we would sit across the street, and then you got to get this thing in motion. You start going tap, tap, tap. And then you just let go, you hold it, but you kind of let go. So the tension, so the thing goes to the floor. So as he opens the door, it pushes all the washers away. You can't see anybody. So he was constantly opening the door, right? He would open the door, like we'd go knock, knock, knock. He'd open it like this and he'd come outside. And then he's running around. So then we see him, he goes out the backyard. He jumps the fence. I mean, he's falling in the snow. He's just covered in snow because he didn't expect it. Now, this was back in Chicago. And
just a couple of years ago?
Yeah, about 12 maybe. And but he would keep running outside. So we were just sitting across the street, basically just doing this, watching him run around his house. And he'd run out with all his kids and everything. You guys go this way, I'll go this way. And they're running up and down the street trying to look through the yards. It was quite funny.
Nice.
Yeah, we never had the guts to tell Louie it was us.
Yeah.
But we did do it every Saturday at 2 a.m.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You ever do the Billy Madison, the flaming bag of dog poo?
Oh, I have not done that.
Always looked like a good time.
Oh, you didn't do it either?
No. I love that part in the movie.
I was always just afraid that I would put the house on fire, and it was just supposed to be a joke.
Don't put it out with your boots, Ted. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman.
Sit on it. So, long story short, any other tricks or stuff that you've done? Anybody you've seen do?
Man, I'm trying to think of like something real clever, but I mean,
well, there's a difference between clever, because I've done clever kind of jokes. Did I ever tell you the time I sold chapel slippers?
You did tell me that story.
Yes, chapel slippers
that's
and
a
light
good
bulbs
story.
for the locker. Can't believe people bought it, but
light bulbs for the locker.
I did that in high school. I charged admission to the biggest crap you've ever seen.
Literally?
Yeah. Some guy almost had a heart attack getting this puppy out. I charged admission to see it. That was at high school once again. High school, I made a lot of money.
Yeah,
I did.
Nice.
I made a lot of money. It was good. I think I was in the dean's office most of every year. But I got to tell you, he loved me. He said, "You never do anything bad or violent. They're all hilarious, but I have to give you detention." I said, "I understand, as long as I made you laugh." He goes, "Oh, I was laughing the whole time. Not during the faculty meeting when everybody was yelling and screaming, but I'm laughing with you. That was funny." I love those.
I got a couple of baseball stories of guys doing pranks. One guy messed with the wrong veteran, and the veteran put popcorn in his car. He got his keys out of his locker, and while the guy was out on the field, he ordered like $100, $200 worth of popcorn and filled his entire car full of popcorn. So when he opened it up, it was just popcorn.
He must have tinted the glass, because where was it at?
It was it was like an Escalade.
Oh, okay.
And so
that much?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't mess with a big leaguer, because they've got a lot of money and too much time.
Definitely. What do you do? Just open all the windows and drive?
Yeah, I don't know.
Popcorn coming out the windows?
Yeah.
Birds following you?
I bet they would. I know the guy that did it. I bet he would send me the video of it.
Oh, there's a video?
Yeah.
I bet you it's on YouTube.
Maybe
we get one of the guys to look that up. What would you call it? Popcorn vehicle?
Yeah, popcorn player.
Popcorn prank. Maybe that's
another one was when guys go shower after the game, you got the towel rack. All the towels are folded up there, and every once in a while, one of these guys would go and either put shaving cream into the towel. So when you're getting out and you're not really paying attention, you just grab a towel and you go to wipe yourself off, and now you got shaving cream all over yourself. And then one of the guys that I knew would do something a little bit worse than shaving cream in the towel.
Yes.
I mean, he would poop and put it in the towel and smear it, and
Wow.
Yeah, pretty bad.
You guys are pretty evil.
Yeah, like I said, too much time.
What? Okay, so you played pro ball. And what was some of your initiations from various teams?
Well, college was probably the best one, initiation wise. I used to have hair. Okay. I had hair, and
I saw it on the wall at your mom's house.
Yeah, I would
blonde
slick
too.
it back, and it was like a dirty blonde. So my freshman year of college, the other guys picked me up from my house. I was still living at my mom's house my freshman year because my college was about 2 miles away from my home, and so they picked me up, and I had been late to practice once. I just spaced and showed up to early running, about 7 minutes late, and coach told me to beat it. So first thing they did was put a plastic clock around my neck, and I had to wear a wife beater and some like these little booty shorts, basically.
Really?
And then they shaved my head like Mr. Burns.
No way.
Yeah, and so this was all shaved on top. And,
as a freshman?
As a freshman. And then I had to go around and serve drinks to the seniors and the girls at the party.
So you were like a reverse Friar haircut?
Yeah. It was pretty bad. It was fun, though.
How long did you probably went home and shaved the rest of it then? You couldn't just...
Yeah. And the rest is history.
That was a one-time done. Oh, my God. We've had, let's see, what other things that we had to do. I think I told you about the hockey. One of the things, this may seem kind of weird, but it was called Splash Dive Olympics.
Okay.
You had to climb to the top of the toilet stalls and take a dump. And the splash, they had magic marker. If you didn't do this, you had to stay there until you could. So that was one.
They had like cheeseburgers.
Oh, you would eat chili and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were. But it was, like when they do stuff like that, you're not expecting it. Mm-hmm. Like I told you we had to put our hands like this, come out naked, and each hockey stick they had to. Tap you in the privates there. Yeah. And then at the end of it, you had to take the biggest glob of Bengay and put it on. You slept with a wet towel.
Oh, my God.
I slept with a wet towel almost 2 nights. It was burning the whole time.
Yeah.
Because after all that spanking,
I did that one time to myself. I pulled a groin and decided to put Bengay in my groin, and that was...
Oh, yeah. It's not pleasant.
First and last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
another one that's coming to mind. So there was 16 of us in college that all lived in the same apartment complex. Four units, 4 guys each unit. And so we would all, mess with each other and play pranks. And like my buddy one time caught a dove that landed on his balcony, and he caught it with a towel. And then he knocks on my door, and mine was on the 3rd floor, which is out of 3. So we had the vaulted ceilings, and so he just knocks on my door. I open it up, and he throws the dove into my. The dove's just circling around in my room or in my apartment. And it took me about 45 minutes to get the thing out. But so we would do that kind of stuff. One guy, he called it hide-a-dukes. Mm-hmm. And he would defecate into a cup, and then hide it somewhere in the house. He would sneak it in.
So it's an Easter egg hunt.
So he did
Easter there.
So he did it to one of these guys. He put it behind their headboard, and he shoved it way back there, And so the guy's like smelling this for days, and he finally found it. And so he waited until he knew that whole other unit was out of the house, and he went in and he undid the air vent.
No.
And he put an old can of tuna. He'd already had it sitting out for about a day. He put some mayonnaise in there too, and then just put it up in the air vent and screw it back on. Yeah. It took them like a week and a half, and they were like, "We give up. We're done." Truce,
where is it?
Truce,
begging for forgiveness.
Yeah, their whole. I walked in one time and I was like, "Oh my God, I'll come over another time."
You know what else is the worst? If you take eggs, just regular eggs, and you crack them and pour them into a air conditioning unit.
Ugh.
No, it smells like rotten eggs.
Yeah.
It smells like that for a long time. You can only do that if you're really mad.
Yeah,
because that smell just does not go away for a while. Mm. But that's how you make a neighbor move.
Yeah.
We had these neighbors growing up that lived behind us. They were I think they were just off the boat Chinese, because they had like 19 people living in this house. Mm. It was their front back windows were all in just newspaper. They would let you know how you have like a built-in grill?
Yeah.
The thing was a giant hornet's nest.
Oh.
We would literally go over there to cut the lawn because of the mosquitoes. And every night we kept thinking, I wonder how many bodies are buried in there.
Uh-huh.
So like, I don't know, around Christmas, I get a call from one of my best friends who lives in North Carolina now. And he calls me up and he's with his mom and he used to live, so this house was directly behind me and my buddy lived kind of kitty corner. You know, our backyard's touched by like a fence, you know what I'm saying? But he was driving by and he's, FaceTiming me with him and his mom saying, we just came back to see our house. And then we took a pic, we're like showing you what your house looks like. And the mother is basically going, I heard that they buried bodies over there. And I kept saying, when I got that dog, all he kept doing is running over there and crapping on that thing. And she was just rolling because there was like always this like plot that everyone wondered, like, is there bodies in there?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just crazy because they never came out. They were, you know what? Do you ever see that movie, The Burbs, with Tom Hanks?
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
Okay, you know how they pulled out of the driveway really slow? Everything's dark, tinted glass.
Yeah.
In a shitty car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they would back out and then shut the door. They would leave, come back, go in and shut, and that was it.
Right.
And you
hardly ever saw any of them.
Well, you couldn't see anything because the whole windows were just filled. Like they didn't have curtains. They didn't have anything. It was just newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
But, they didn't bother us. And every time we threw parties, they didn't say anything. They didn't, tell the parents.
The guy that lives right directly behind my mom. You remember going to my mom's house?
Oh, yeah.
The guy lives right behind her.
40 minutes away.
Yeah. And after that, it's 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But his backyard, same thing. Weeds everywhere, trash everywhere, old car in the backyard, pool that hasn't been, full other than rainwater, in 7, 8, 10, 12 years, whatever.
It's just stagnant water.
Yeah, and he had the same thing, kind of newspaper up against the windows so you couldn't see in the house, and just a mess. And we're like, man, this is just a fire hazard and a half. Well, it went up. About a year ago, it all went up, and so my
was that
my mom and my stepdad
purple smoke bomb.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. They were in the backyard with the hoses, keeping the flames away from their house and stuff, but. I just thought of another one.
Excellent.
One of my good friends from college, who was kind of my mentor. He was 1 year ahead of me, but he passed away in 2004 in a car accident. So I actually, this tattoo right here is for him. Carpe diem. Mike Frick, love you, buddy. He was the hardest working dude and hilarious. But when he was a freshman, he got attacked by a bunch of seniors. They tied him up to the hotel luggage carts. They were on the road in a hotel, and they taped him. They got a whole bunch of athletic tape. They taped him up to the cart, so he's sitting on the cart like this, and they wheel him out into the lobby and just let him go. He's sitting there going, "You sons of bitches!"
Somebody help him.
He was on the team the next year, so eventually.
I guess that's what you got to do. But that goes back when you said push him into the ball. How many pictures have you seen like of Walmart people, like the images that
the Walmartians?
Yeah, is that what they're called? Is that the new meme?
Creatures of Walmart or the Walmartians?
Just like guys, dressed up as like girls but with a beard. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not Caitlyn Jenner style. They are. Yeah. Full beard, wearing a dress with a beer belly.
And you're just sitting there thinking, shave the beard, man.
Yeah, let that go.
It doesn't go with the leather.
I know, especially when they go goodbye.
Yeah,
goodbye. Right? It just doesn't look good.
Mm-mm.
But there's this world, as I see it, is changing in a direction that is almost like too weird to handle. You get that?
Yeah, and we're leading the way. I mean, America. And liberal America especially is leading the way in the weirdness.
I mean, I get what people want to be, but like it's going to the extreme, if you will. It's not something that's, taking on a little bit, taking on. I mean, it's full frontal, right in your face.
Full frontal nudity.
How many guys now have pink hair?
Too many.
Yeah, I don't get the whole color thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing like these dark greens or these fluorescent blues.
I'm more into white.
White? Yeah. I think it's called
Gray and white.
Gray.
Yeah, you know what, man? If they're not hurting anybody and they're not imposing on my rights,
Yeah.
let them go. Let them do whatever they want.
But I'm getting kind of frustrated with the school systems allowing certain things that are
Well,
happening.
that's the problem was when they start to indoctrinate and you start to.
Sex ed at kindergarten? Are you kidding me?
It's ridiculous.
That's a little young.
Well, there's a lot of people saying, if these teachers are going to show what is basically equating to pornography to these middle schoolers and younger, these teachers need to go to jail. Or you can't show pornography to a child. I don't care whether you're in a classroom or not.
Yeah.
Like it's against the law. These people need to be in
Well,
trouble.
unless it's a highly rated film. Just kidding.
Yeah. When it comes to indoctrination and infringing on my rights so that we can cater to a ultra small percentage of the population, that just doesn't fly.
Well, I'm going to add something I just learned today. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Today, Texas announced that suppressors are no longer needing a stamp for your gun.
Oh, yeah?
You can just go to the store and buy it.
Nice. Walmart start carrying them.
Well, I'm thinking of taking a road trip to Texas before that stamp thing changes, because they're doing it because all the people and all the violence that is happening basically around the borders. You know.
Well, these poor like farmers and people that ranchers and landowners down by the Texas border, they're getting killed right now.
Not only getting killed, their animals are getting killed because they're eating them because they're starving.
Yeah,
And the chickens.
These people are walking through and looting and killing animals, like you said, and the cartel is also in roundabout ways buying up. It's either the cartel or China in a lot of cases. They're buying up this land all along our border. And
definitely buying it. I mean, because Greg Abbott, I know it's Abbott, but I think it's Greg Abbott. He is the Texas governor.
Yeah.
He's sending troops down there, which I think is great. But when they were doing the interview that I was watching on one of these news channels, they were outlining, here in Arizona, right? 1,500 deaths a month because of the extreme heat, because the coyotes are pushing them, to say, hey, now you're on your own, run. And they're like, run, it's 117. I'm going to walk.
And unfortunately, your mainstream medias will never show this part of it.
Never.
The CNNs, the MSNBCs, the ABCs,
until you
USA
live
Today,
here.
none of them will talk about it. It's
They won't even show it.
Humanity crisis.
We can't even get Camilla to even go see it.
No. She doesn't even. She doesn't want to have any part of it.
I don't understand why she wouldn't even go and see it, because she wants to be able to keep that
Two reasons.
position.
A, don't care. Two, it would make her look bad, because then they actually have to face the problem that they've created by telling these people throughout their entire campaign, hey,
to come here.
Come on in. Borders open. And now they're going, do not
come.
Do not come to America.
Between the hours of 2 and 3.
We will help you in any way we can.
And then you can see the girl who's doing the deaf.
Yeah.
She's like, you are more than welcome to come here.
Home run, touchdown.
Yeah. And through,
Yeah.
and we're moving,
Yeah.
and we're moving. Like the what do you call it? The people at museums. And we're walking, people, and we're walking, and
Yeah.
we're walking. Have you ever been to the White House?
No,
You're
I've
gonna
been
do
to
one of
the
their
Capitol
tours?
building, but never the White House.
They give their little tours and stuff, and then they go, okay, folks, any other questions? No, and we're walking, and we're walking. Oh, there's, Representative so-and-so. And then he just waves as he walks by with his entourage of security. But,
The guy that's voting for no guns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, the border, if you guys, until you guys actually see what it's like here in Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, I know there's some people that are watching that go, it can't be that bad. It's like 67,000 people a day jumping the fence, maybe a handful of them getting caught, The rest of them are dying in the desert because between that border wall and let's just say even, I don't know, what's the closest town there? Tucson? I mean, major city?
Yuma?
No. Yuma's there. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are coming up from Yuma.
But until you see it and you see all these people and then you see the bodies and the CSI units that are, or the morgue units that are going to pick these people up, they're carrying a broom handle and they got like 19 jugs of water that they're hauling. And as they drink them, which you need about every 50 feet, carrying about 200 extra pounds.
In this heat? Holy crap.
And that water's got to be solid hot within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
There's just bodies because I was listening to the, they don't get it here. They don't get the Border Patrol report anywhere else because they don't want to hear it. But either way, if you saw the amount of garbage in the desert, it's killing all of the animals because they're going up and eating it, thinking, this is it. It's filled with maggots and everything else. And now all the animals are sick. And then they go and eat an animal or whatever. And then they're sick.
One of the things that people don't realize is as these people are migrating up from South America through Mexico and up to our border, they're not making this trek on their own most of the time. No. I mean, maybe there's a select few percentage that do it on their own, decide to say, screw the cartel. I'm not going to, I'm going to go around them and try to do this on my own. But most of it is controlled by the cartel. They know the whole border. They patrol the border, on their side, and as well as on our side.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
They're controlling. You don't do this without them for the most part, and
they're taking all of their money. So even when they make it over the border, they have no money here.
Mm-hmm. And so, in a roundabout way, our president, the guy that's, or whatever you want to call him, that's in office right now, he was encouraging people, to use the cartel. If you want to deduct things, that's really kind of what it comes down to. And I've heard from a number of migrants that when they get here, a lot of them once they get to the other side of the border, there's nice SUVs waiting for you to drive you to this city, that hotel.
Well, we went past one here when the Biden bus took them all into that hotel.
Yeah.
There had to be, I don't know, how many people did you say there was?
Oh, there was a few hundred on the street.
Few hundred saying there are illegal aliens in this hotel.
Yeah. It's a 4-star hotel. They're getting 3 meals a day and,
Well, I know they get $80 million or something like that for spending. Mm-hmm. But to see that, now you know that nobody's booking that hotel. Mm-hmm. Like, because, I'm pretty sure that they got a bus and got them out at like 2:30 in the morning because there was way too many people there pointing the finger. But you can imagine, like, the whole hotel owner's like, yeah, I'll take them for a guaranteed my whole occupancy and all my food. And then he goes, wait a minute. They're still striking out there. Now nobody's coming. Mm-hmm. So I made my good month, and now I'm done. I bet you he sells it.
Yeah.
I hope he does, because that's wrong.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, that's wrong. Because they're just moving it over. Like, there were some FBI tales that they went in to investigate, and everybody was gone. They were in a warehouse, sleeping in cots, and they're, like, moving them out because they had a 4-hour head start. Somebody had tipped them off that they were coming, and 4 hours later, the whole place was, cleaned out and gone, and they just move them. A lot of them are taking them to Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's a really liberal city, too. I think they're probably shipping them to Portland, Minneapolis.
800% homicide rate.
Yeah.
Let's go to Portland.
Yeah.
You want to go there for like a vacation? Let's start with today on Monday. Let's do the avoid the bullets on this boulevard. Mm-hmm. And then tomorrow we'll avoid the drive-bys on this one.
Yep.
Even Chicago, did you see it? Because I'm from there. Did you see like the last 3 days or something? Like 12 homicides per day or per hour or whatever it was. It was like 100. I don't know. It was ridiculous how many. And Lori Lightfoot, who is probably Chicago's worst mayor ever, is saying we need more federal government funds. But she didn't arrest anybody in the homicides. And it's catch and release.
Yeah. There was a video of a homeless guy that comes in, and he's got a big plastic trash bag, and this is in San Francisco, another very liberal city, obviously. And he just
District 26?
What's that?
District 26?
I'm not sure which
Pelosi's
district. Okay,
district?
yeah. Probably. Well, he comes in and you see him just empty a whole bunch of shelves into this plastic trash bag and just walk right out of the store. Like it was nothing. And he feels fine to do that because they decriminalized any kind of shoplifting as long as it's under $950.
Yeah, I did see that.
So shoplifting is legal.
Yeah.
It's legal. You can
Because
go in
they
and
said
rip
that
off any small...
They need it.
Yeah.
And I'm going, did they need the Gucci purse that's
Yeah.
well over $900?
Well, the Gucci purse this one was a...
$850.
Yeah, it was $850. Yeah.
That's right.
He needed it, though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah.
He was carrying all the other crap that was well more.
It's unbelievable, Jer.
I know.
Unbelievable. My mom was right.
What'd she say?
It's going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah. Well, that's what when you look, politicians are just fighting between themselves.
Yeah.
The people don't know. They're losing track of reality. Mm-hmm. Criminals are saying, "Oh my God, this is like free payday."
Yeah.
And then they want to take away your guns. So it's kind of like it's actually the reverse. We need guns to protect ourselves because the criminals have a heyday. The politicians aren't looking, so they're going to do whatever that they want. They're all worried about. Honestly, they should clean the whole slate. Republicans, Democrats, get them all done.
Well, look at where...
Have a new vote.
Yeah.
And say, if you've been in longer than 2 years and more people hate you on social media, you can't reapply.
You go.
You out of here.
Yeah.
UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
Hey, you ugly.
I was in that movie. That was called Wildcats. Do you remember that with Goldie Hawn?
No, is that where that came from?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all the cheerleaders singing.
Yeah. But yeah, all of these spikes in violence and looting and gun violence, and they're all in these historically Democratic run cities and states, and they all have extremely tough gun laws too. And
we're allowed to shoot anyone that comes into our house or on our property. We have a very low percentage. I think if out of the 50 states, I think we're state 48.
Yeah.
I think the only other state are like Iowa, where they have less people, and
Iowa,
they don't have.
Maybe
we only have that because of the border escalade. I bet you, if they would have put the wall up, we didn't have all these illegals coming in, we wouldn't have this problem at all.
Yeah, probably.
Because they're coming here, and
it'd be very low. I mean, it's when
they're coming here, they're going to get on welfare, and the people who work like us, we got to pay the tax.
You think about the mind of the criminal. The criminal thinks, everybody weighs, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Weighing your options. And if they know that most households have a revolver or a shotgun or some kind of firearm next to the bed and they're ready, the home invasion rate is going to go down. And that's just the way it works.
So we have a question that's come in for you.
Oh.
Okay. It says, ask him what team it was that the popcorn was common.
That was when I was with the Texas Rangers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That is Texas, and Texas has a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
I party with a lot of Texans.
Yeah,
they're good people down there.
They do it big.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh, man. The hair, the drinks.
The beards.
Yeah, the beards.
The booze. You ever see, when they look at you and you get a 16-ounce can, they go, what's that, like a teaser?
What's that, Thimble, son?
Son, yeah. You spit that goober in it, and they're like, well, I drink with my tobacco in.
Yeah, I love Texas, man. I loved playing there.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Texas.
I wish we had
Where
won
was that? Was that Houston or was that Dallas?
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas
Arlington,
is cool.
which is like right in between Dallas and Fort Worth.
Yeah.
But yeah, Texas Rangers is who I got drafted by. Had some fun years there. We didn't really win a whole lot with that team.
They were just too drunk. Too many barbecues.
They were going
just bunt. Maybe you get out. You want to get an upset stomach.
Yeah. We could hit the ball, but the defense was not so good.
No?
But loved Texas, man. Good people. Good barbecue. Good fans.
Now, as a pitcher, how many times did you actually bat, like, per season?
I have one hit in the major leagues.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have one.
Is it a good one? Don't tell me you fouled out.
No. Well, that would be out. That wouldn't be a hit.
Well,
but
you got a hit.
So I was playing in Pittsburgh. It was probably one of the best games that I actually pitched, like of complete games, and had like eight or nine strikeouts and got a walk, a hit, and a run scored. I think I won like 3-0.
That's pretty impressive that you remember, your stats on because you played like 16,
Most games
18
I didn't,
years.
but this one stands out.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's my one hit.
Oh,
of course,
Yeah, it is the
So
one
my
hit.
buddy Travis Metcalf, he got his first hit in the big leagues right before me. He hit a home run. There was a runner on second, I think.
Oh, now that's killer.
He hit a home run for his first hit in the big leagues, and then I came out. He was hitting 8-hole, so I was hitting 9-hole because I was pitching, and I step in the bucket, which means you like kind of stepping out of the way. It's not what you're supposed to do, and I was so late that I scorched. I was looking left, down the third base line, and I scorched it down the first base line. Went right by the first baseman, and I went, "Oh, there it is!" And I might be the only guy to successfully leg a double into a single.
Really?
Yeah, I ran so slow that I made a double into a single, and that was because my first at bat, I hit a 3-hopper to the shortstop, and I was so excited that I hit the ball. I hadn't hit. I was an American League pitcher where there's a designated hitter for most of my career. This was at a National League park, so I finally got to hit, right? And hit a 3-hopper to the shortstop, and I busted out of the box, so fast that I pulled my quad. So my left quad was, pulled at
On a
this point.
2-mile-an-hour run.
Oh yeah. So the next time when I hit the double down the line, I couldn't go to second, and luckily I think
You're going timeout.
Yeah.
First base timeout.
then it was an easy single for me to get to second, and then a walk to third,
nice.
and then another single, and I scored. So I had
You want to hear a hockey story? I scored on my own net.
That's not supposed to happen.
No. So, you have the blue lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the puck was flipped out, was coming down. The guy was, we were racing, you're back to, basically he's on your hip and you're both racing to it. So you're just enough faster to get in front of him. So my idea, which you see in a lot of hockey games, is to bounce, shoot it and bank it off right behind the goal so it banks that way because you have a winger that's flying up that way. Most of the time they rail it around the boards, right? But because of where I was just had about maybe this much because the guy's trying to lift your stick up and you're trying to trying to do this and you're literally just pumping it or pushing it a little farther. Skate, push because he keeps trying to lift your stick. Well, I went like this just to push it.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to bank off of this. And it goes trickling right over the goalie's shoulder. He's like, "Nice job, ass. Scored on your own net." I was like, what kind of goalie isn't prepared as two guys are racing at you?
Right?
He goes,
Isn't
I
that
thought you
your
were going
job
to
to not
push
let
it
it go
to me
in?
so I could use my stick. I go, in the history of hockey, nobody does that.
Yeah.
You don't push it to a guy who has a big stick who's carrying a glove, not because his other one, he has fingers. This one, he has just got the duck claw.
Right.
And, you're going to take that and push it. So I shot it right into the net. The whole team, the crowd, they're all going crazy because it was an away game. And they're like, what an idiot. Scores on his own net.
Yeah.
So So, of course, the coach goes, you know what you have to do now. I'm like, yeah. And you know what that is. Score 2 goals. one to catch up because it's now a tie, and one to win. So I will tell you the story. Did I ever tell you the story of the hockey guys there's only 17 of us. You have 52?
No, it's 26 now
26?
on a major league roster. Yeah.
Well, we have 17. Mm-hmm. So there was a time where we were staying in a hotel, which happens a lot, you know that. And it was close to the time when you start buying fireworks.
Okay.
And we're in a hotel room, first floor, right? We're lying there. So the guys, we're drinking or whatever, and guy says, "Hey, we all picked up fireworks," and we're like, "Yeah, let's launch them off the window." You get the garbage can, you load it in, light it, bottle rocket, pop, Woo. So then we get some Roman candles, and we're firing them out the window. It's looking pretty good, So, anyways, we're like, guys are kind of getting bored. It's like pop, pop, pop. So we're like, let's just end this, get back to the poker game. Let's do the grand finale. So we take all the fireworks, shove it into the garbage can. Take the bounty roll, take a whole wad of it, light it all on fire, chuck it in. So we took the garbage can and we went like this to the window. One of the guys comes up, he goes, "Holy crap, there's a cop." So he shuts the window. Boom, boom, boom. Where the whole room is glowing colors, right? Everything's on fire. So we dive into everyone's diving everywhere. They're going into the closet, shutting it, I'm in the bed with two other guys and we're just holding the sheets up like this. And you can see everything's on fire, right? So it's so crazy. So all of a sudden, the smoke alarms go off, the fire, the rain, the water sprinkler system comes on. Everyone's sprayed. So of course that cop called it in, saw all the fire and everything going on, and then the police came, the fire trucks came, and they knocked on our door. It was like when they opened the door, it was like Cheech and Chong's room. All the smoke come out, and he goes, "Is that you lighting the fireworks?" We're like, "No." I am wearing a shirt, which I think I still have, where the explosion ripped it apart. And it was those old 80s shirts that said "Who farted?" Remember that? That whole thing, the whole "Who farted" was gone. It was just my chest hair.
It really said "Who farted"?
Yeah. Oh, that was a big T-shirt in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, starting to show the age. And moving to the next commercial, vitamins keeps you younger and live. No, I'm just kidding. But we had to pay for all the damages. Actually, it was quite a lot.
College again.
Nice.
We were staying in a hotel playing Texas Tech, and we're staying in this older hotel, and it's one of those hotels that like you got the atrium, right? You walk in, and I think a lot of Embassy Suites are kind of like this. You walk in, and all of the rooms are around, right? They're kind of around, and you have the big,
love rooms.
Yeah, you got the big atrium, and it goes up 4 stories or whatever, and it's all open in the middle, right? So we were all staying in rooms, and one guy, he was on the 3rd story, and he's got his clothes hanging from the little metal sprinkler in the room, and I was like, dude, you shouldn't have that there. And they're like, whatever, I do that in every hotel room. I was like, dude, that's not good practice.
Not a hanger.
Well, about an hour later, somebody came in and walked by the clothes and bumped them, and it let off, like it signaled or something to it. Well, the whole the room was in 8 inches of water, and they were on the 3rd story. So it went down to the 2nd story, ruined everything on the 2nd story, down to the 1st story, everything, down into the kitchen. I mean, he had 3 stories of damage. It was like $500,000 in damage. And
all from a coat hanger.
And all from a coat hanger. Yeah, and the team,
was it the maid? Because I would argue the maid hit it.
I don't know how. I don't know who paid for it, but
probably the team.
Probably Cal State Northridge.
Well, Bob, you're going to be running laps forever.
Yeah,
I know. We used to. Did you ever do the water bucket out the window at hotels when people are walking down? You dump a bucket of water.
I wasn't a jerk.
Oh, that was a story I heard then. Quite the entertainment.
Or how about you leave the door cracked open? This is one we used to do in the bullpen a lot. You have your bullpen out in the outfield, and then a lot of them will have these rooms that you can go sit in during the summer. It's super hot, and you don't want to be sitting in the heat until you're ready to pitch in the 8th inning or whatever. So we're all messing with each other and take a big glass of water and crack the door open just a little bit. Just leave it there until the next guy comes in and pushes the door open, and water falls on them.
Gotta love those.
Yeah. Sometimes you do water and baby powder.
Oh yeah. That gives you kind of
because the water goes first, and then the baby powder has time to float down.
Tar and feather.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tar and feather. Well, I guess it is really.
Is it that time again?
Yes. Can you believe it?
It flies by
I got 3
time.
minutes.
Okay.
So we can kind of wrap this up. But the 3 minutes of the summer. The summer has. I think this is kind of like been the first normal summer. Like last summer around this time, it was crazy COVID.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we weren't doing anything.
Now we're doing like here in Arizona, we have no masks anywhere.
No masks.
No masks. Nobody's really worried.
I go into Circle K, Fry's, Walmart, everywhere now. Home Depot. Nobody's wearing masks.
I do see
anymore.
a couple of people who still are believers in the mask.
Yeah, and if
you don't have to wear them.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? I don't mind that practice because when I went over and lived in Japan, in a lot of the Asian cultures, if you're sick and you go out, you wear a mask out of courtesy for other people. And so if that's what people are adopting now, that's great.
Japan is so good with that kind of stuff. Like,
they're
like
the most,
protecting their people.
Most conscientious, be a good ant in the colony kind of people, man. It's they do what's good for everybody else as well as themselves. And and they gave us amazing things like martial arts and sushi. We gave them like McDonald's.
But wait a second, KFC in China is fine dining. Did you know that?
Yeah.
There's a waiting list to get into the KFC. They wear suits there.
Spam. Huge.
They love spam?
Spam in Japan.
I thought that was just Hawaii.
Hawaii too, but both. Yeah, because Hawaiians are largely Japanese. But
they have a big Japanese, but they're more like Samoan. You ever see those big guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they love to eat. Yeah. See, that's where I feel thin.
Yeah.
They're like, he can eat like 3 slabs of ribs.
Yeah, those guys are
not like us.
The linemen.
Yeah, they're always the linemen.
Yeah.
You can't move those pieces of rock.
No, dude.
And they always got the tattoos.
They got the coolest tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like tribal.
Yeah.
They look really neat. I like those. So, well.
It's been another good hour.
Been a good hour.
Yeah.
So next week we are going to start bringing in the guests again.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to start lining it up. One of the things that you're going to see is that we're going to have quite a lot of new guests. Byron Allen. I think we're going to have.
That's a big one, Jared.
Yeah, we're going to have some of the World Cup. They call it football. We call it soccer. But 3-time World Cup champion. We are going to have. We're going to have a pretty exciting lineup. Waka Flocka is going to...
Yeah, Waka Flocka
He just texted me. He's coming back.
My agent that said he'd be happy to come on at some point. Yeah.
That would be great. I've heard so many good stories from you.
He's a great guy. I was actually one of his first clients. Yeah. I kind of helped him.
You're the Jerry Maguire?
I don't want to say I helped him get started, but I was one of his first clients. And now he's got Aaron Judge. So who knows? Maybe we'll have Aaron Judge on here when the season's over.
I think he'd come out when they're playing the Diamondbacks.
Actually, I got to see if I don't know if they play the Diamondbacks this year or not.
Is he AFC or?
But we have Skype.
Wait, AFC or NFC?
That's football. He is NL.
National League?
AL, American League, Yankees.
Yankees are American League?
Yep.
And what are the Diamondbacks?
They're National League.
Okay, so they'll only play if it's a World Series.
No, they have the interleague now.
They do?
And
they're co-mixing?
Yeah, they're
transgendering?
They're transleaguing.
Would you say the National League or the American League is harder or worse or what? I don't want to say worse, but like if you're in the National League, you're more for hitting, and if you're in the American League, it's more for fielding and pitching.
Actually, it was just what you're saying. Just flipped. The American League for the longest time. So they introduced the designated hitter in the 70s, 76, I believe, and the American League was designated hitter. So that meant the pitcher never hit. They had just another guy that was really good at hitting. So 1 through 9 was tough. You didn't get a break as a pitcher. In National League, the pitcher hits. So pitchers always.
That's what it is. Pitcher hits.
Yeah.
And you never really played in the National League, did you?
No, I played.
Is that the one league?
Not when I was a starter. So I played American League, which is Rangers American League. When I was a starter,
what about Brewers?
Brewers are National League, but I was only a reliever when I was with the Brewers. So relievers generally will not get the hit, and if you do, you're usually bunting. And I could lay down a bunt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good bunter.
Well, every time I throw a donut at you, you always hit it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Eat it. You always eat it, yes. Well, first of all, that's been the full hour. So next week, watch for some big stars. I hope that you tune in because we've had a fun time today, as always.
Always.
And now you got to hear a couple of our personal stories to some tricks, and hopefully you learn something. So once again,
Jared, I just want to say a little word to the wise. If at first you don't succeed, don't go skydiving.
Okay. That's a one drop.
That's a one-timer.
Yeah. That is it. So thanks again, guys. We hope to see you next Friday. You'll probably see Cam here, just because I love the guy, and he's really been helpful on the show, and always one of my personal favorites. So we'll see you and some new guests next week. Thanks for coming. Talk to you soon. And that's it. Okay. Bye-bye.